Hi, this is Chris Haughey. Thank you for joining me on Create with Chris. Are you looking for the perfect Easter DIY? Easter is fast approaching, but with just a few supplies and 30 minutes of your time, you can create these stunning Easter designs. No talent is required. They're simple, fun, and impressive. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned crafter, these projects are perfect for you. So grab your brushes and let's get creative. This is an inexpensive two-piece MDF frame. It's 5 inches in size. And I am using Folk Art Home Decor chalk paint. I love the way it goes on. This is called Milk Jug, just a little bit off-white. It's a beautiful base coat. I'm applying it evenly in long, smooth strokes. Just get that paint smoothed out. I'm using a 3/4 inch oval wash. Turn it around, I'll add paint along the other side and then again just smooth it out. With the chalk paint, once it dries, I can sand it. It's a silky smooth finish. I may or may not need to apply a second coat. That's kind of a personal preference. With this style of painting, it can be very distressed and oftentimes one coat is sufficient. With the chick, I'm starting in the middle and pulling the paint toward the outer edges. This is Summer Porch, and you can see that I pull it toward the outer edges. It keeps the paint from running down the sides. It just keeps that nice and clean. Once I cover the entire surface, use almost the flat of my brush to pull those strokes nice and smooth. And you can see how opaque, what a nice even coverage that I can achieve just with that one coat. Chalk paint is a little bit thicker than regular acrylic paint, so it may need a little extra moisture in the brush to kind of smooth it around. Usually if I dampen my brush before I load it, I can apply the paint nice and easy. Just loading my 1/2 inch awesome angle with paint, following the curve of that stripe. And I do have to slow down a little bit, but it's really nice. These pieces are from the seasonal sign collection. They're all 4 inches. They fit perfectly in the 5-inch frame set. So even if you wanted to just Velcro the pieces on instead of gluing them on, you could swap them out for different seasons. But using the toe of the brush to scoot along that etched line just makes it really easy. Just have to slow down a touch. This color is Patina, and I do have a list of all the paints I used in the description below. And if you don't have the chalk paint and just want to use regular acrylic paint, I have the paint substitutes to make it a little bit easier. But what is so much fun about a design like this, you can change the colors up to match your home decor. So many different options. I was thinking these would even be cute. You could personalize them. Again, I start from the middle and work my way out to keep those side edges nice and clean and then smooth it out. This is Vintage Victorian, and I'm still using my 1/2 inch angle. It has a really nice length to it, so I can apply quite a bit of paint before I have to reload. I hold the piece up in the air just to have a little more control so it doesn't slide around, and then lay it down and finish it up. This is such a different style of painting than what I normally do. I hope you're enjoying it. I think every now and then we need to do something that's a little different than normal. It just keeps things exciting. I had so much fun with this. I did take a little bit of sandpaper and lightly sand the dried paint on the chick before I apply the palette knife. I'm just scooting the flat of my knife over a very, very thin puddle of paint on the palette. Too much, it'll just become a solid blob. If it gets a little too heavy, don't try to wipe it off. This is Java. It's a really rich, deep, dark brown, beautiful antiquing color. But what I can do if it's too strong is just lightly sand it with a real soft grit sandpaper, putting the beak on the chick, and I'm using dried fired clay and a stencil brush, but you could just as easily use your brush to put a beak on. And I'm dip dotting the eyes with rich black. Going back now with my number 10 flat and the summer porch, because the flat is the same width as the stripe, if I keep an even pressure on the brush, it'll just fit perfectly in those lines. If not, I can just go back and touch it up. This is a no frill paint, so it's just very easy to control, to manipulate. I hope you're enjoying this. Let me know what you think. If you'd like to have more videos like this, sometimes I think it's fun just to sit down and create something, I would say quickly, but also I want it to look nice. There are circles etched in it. I'm using my painter's pal and stenciling. Because the chalk paint is so nice and thick, you still have to be a little careful with how much paint is loaded on the stencil brush, but just load it up well, wipe it over a paper towel, and then stencil, and it should be fine. I put the blue patina dots at the top, and then I just bump down. What's nice with the stencil, you can see translucent, so you can see through it for placement, and it's easy to match up those etched dots. Makes painting this so simple. You don't have to worry about freehanding with the templates. This is part of my Painter's Pal series. I use these almost every time I paint because it makes me look really good. On the blue ones, I did have to go back and add a second coat because it was a light color over the dark, and it just needed that little bit of strength. I'm taking that same yellow and just adding a center dot in the middle of those, and you can see how easy it is to line that up evenly. And even if it's not perfectly even, this is a distressed, I should say a vintage piece, so perfection is not, sometimes a little bit of imperfection actually carries across a little bit better. And put a little teeny pencil dot where the nose was. It makes it easier for me to figure out placement, and that way I don't have to guess where the nose is. And I'm just stenciling that in, and with the chalk paint it just doesn't take much. Using my stylus and the rich black to add dip dots. I did want the eyes a couple different sizes, so I dotted one and then dotted the other, and it kind of gives a couple different, just a little bit smaller on the other eye. Adding the palette knife with Java, and I was worried about doing this over pink because it's such a pretty pastel pink. I wasn't sure the Java would work well, but it turned out really nice. There were a couple places it was too dark, and like I said before, if it's too dark, don't try to take it off. I just took some sandpaper, lightly sanded it, and it toned it down really nice. And you can see I'm kind of a little more aggressive with the egg. It's a larger area, and I didn't have to worry. I didn't want to get it in the bunny or the chick's face area. Too much on the bottom, it's just going to be a blob, so remember that. You can use a liner brush to add the little mouth and whiskers, but I'm using a 0.01 micron pen. Just super easy to add that in there nice and perfectly. I like to add little eyebrows. I just think that's kind of cute. So I added them on the bunny and also on the chick. And I did go back and add a tiny white highlight in each eye. I'm using my number 8 dry brush to just dry brush the cheeks on with that bright pink on the bunny and also on the chick. And just wipe it over a paper towel to remove excess. Just a little bit of patience over and over on until you build up the exact amount of intensity on the cheeks. I thought the egg needed brightened up just a little bit, so I'm using that milk jug and my stylus to add a few dip dots. The chalk paint is a little bit thicker, so I did find out that I needed to thin the paint down just a little bit to get a nice round dip dot. But after I did a couple dots, I kind of liked the fact that they weren't perfect. The background behind the plaques, I used Distress Crackle Stencil, and I loaded my brush with Java. I work it into the bristles and then I wipe it on my paper towel really well. I want this to be a soft, almost an airbrush effect. So I'm not going to pounce, I'm just very lightly swirling. I'll go one direction and then kind of swirl the other direction. I wanted to peek and see if it was looking, look how beautiful that is. This is a gorgeous stencil. And one thing nice about the collage stencils, we have quite a few different ones in the line, and you can use just segments of them to add a little bit of embellishment in. I even thought about adding a little bit of design on the chicks and on the bunny, but with this on the background, I thought it might be a touch too much. Using my splatter brush, I thin the paint down so it's a little bit looser and just splatter it over the background to make those splatters a little more not so strong and round. I misted it with a little bit of water. It diffuses them and helps them to kind of blend out a little bit, and it just gives a little more age. I did splatter the chick and the bunny, but I stayed out of the face area, which is one reason I like this splatter brush so well, is I can control for the most part where it's going to go. And I did mist each one of these with water to diffuse it. I found out the best way to paint the frames is with a baby wipe, and I picked up some of that rich black. I'm just sliding it over the frame. Because it's a little bit diluted with the damp baby wipe, it's not going to be solid and heavy. Doesn't take much paint. It gives it almost a, I don't want to say a wood grain, but more of a stained effect than painted solid. I did go back with the light grit sandpaper, the fine grit sandpaper, sanded the sides and the corners really well, and then added a little bit of the milk jug splattering just to each of the pieces. Helps to brighten it up. I did use tacky glue for the frame because I get a flatter bond. For the pieces, I used hot glue, and I decided to put a little bit of moss. You can pick this up at any Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, dollar store. They all have some kind of a packaged moss. Just thought it would be fun to add a little bit of greenery at the bottom, any of the craft stores. But I had these around the house, and it's just a long stem with little flowers on it, and I cut them down and just thought it would be kind of cute and delicate to have these little buds in the grass area at the moss at the bottom. And then, of course, I had to put a bow on it. It's just a regular shoestring bow, and did the same thing for all three of them. Just that little bit of decor on it just dresses it up and really brings out the rustic appeal of this piece, adds a little dimension. And these pieces you could paint any color if you wanted to not have them so vintage and distressed. You could just paint them the bright colors, add a little bit of shading and highlighting, and it would be adorable as well. Little decorative touches, the stenciling in the background makes such a big difference when creating projects. And the finished pieces are just absolutely wonderful. And there you have it, 3 stunning Easter projects in just a very short period of time. See, creativity is all about having fun, and these projects, I absolutely love doing them. I hope you give it a try, make it your own, and enjoy the process. You can do this. No perfection is needed, just your own unique touch. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. That way you won't miss out on upcoming videos. Thank you again for joining me, and I look forward to our next creating adventure together.